All right, you squares, this is take two. For all you folks that do not like GMO foods or food that's grown from GMO plants, or even those factory farm meats that we get, where you have animals like grown in pens and stuff like that for slaughter. If you didn't like that, you're really going to love this. Where do you get a load of this one? U.S. paves way to get lab meat on plates, by Juliet Michael. Lab meats backers argue avoiding slaughtering animals will reduce both suffering and greenhouse emissions. U.S. authorities on Friday agreed on how to regulate food products cultured from animal cells, paving the way to get so-called lab meat on American plate. The Department of Agriculture and the Food and Drug Administration agreed to share regulation of cell-cultured foods, they said in a joint statement following a public meeting in October. While technical details have yet to be confirmed, the FDA would oversee the collection and differentiation of cells. That is, when stem cells develop to specialized cells, while USDA would oversee production and labeling of food products. This regulatory framework will leverage both the FDA's experience with regulating cell culture technology in living biosystems and the USDA's expertise in regulating livestock and poultry products for human consumption, the statement said, adding that the agency see no need for legislation on the matter. I bet they don't. Your liberal capitalist country at work. The question of whether to approve cell-cultured food products has never really arisen in the United States. In fact, several niche lab meat startups already exist, but production costs are very high and nobody has a product that is ready to sell yet. Californian company Just, known for its eggless mayonnaise, has said previously it plans to sell cell-cultured meat by the end of this year, and told AFP it looked forward to working with the agencies. Others, such as Memphis Meats and Mosa Meat in the Netherlands, are working to get production costs down with some backing from the agri-food industry. I bet they are. The backers of lab meat argue avoiding slaughtering animals will reduce both suffering and greenhouse emissions and is a sustainable option to feed growing populations hungry for protein. American consumers deserve a wide array of healthy, humane, sustainable choices, said Jessica Alme, policy director at the Good Food Institute. But they are locked in disagreement with farming organizations about whether such products can indeed be called meat. The authorities have made no statement on that, but the U.S. Cattlemen's Association welcomed the news. USDA is going to oversee labeling, which we are ecstatic about because the FDA does not require pre-market label approval before the products hit the shelves, said spokeswoman Leah Biondo. All right, folks. All right, you lab rats. Are you ready for your lab meats? Don't answer that yet because the products aren't here, and I know 95% of you guys are going to say no. And while I wouldn't make a diet out of it, I am actually quite curious about how this stuff will taste. But like any other thing in technology, what we know about it, it only gets better as they improve it. And they wouldn't be spending all this money if they didn't think that it had a good shot at being adopted or being sold. And like any other thing, as far as protein is concerned, it's not necessarily will it be meat. What will it be mixed in? Will it be mixed in with your regular meat? Say like a filler. Say if you say instead of having a pure burger something or ground beef or hot dog with animal meats, what if they do something like 50-50? You know, they mix in leftover animal products and they mix in this lab meat. Are they going to label it? Are you going to know what kind of health problems are they going to cause? Or will people be allergic to lab meat? They aren't normally allergic to other kinds of products. But I told you guys that things are going to accelerate. In fact, I was just saying in my ramble, this is the elbow. This is the elbow. And everything that we see, touch, feel, and hear is going to be on an acceleration curve. It's going to change. And I told you that automation and advanced tech didn't just center on robotics and artificial digital intelligence. Okay. This is the other part. This is the biotech. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find it and play it again, because they were just talking about this, where they talk about Generation Zs might be, for them, their death may be optional. So our children and grandchildren may have the option of whether they want to die or not. They might have the option of living as long as they like. That may be an option. They do have the technology. Now, whether they implement it or not, nobody knows. But, I'm sure if the population goes down, their option may be an optional death, because right now they're talking about maximum life extension. So the millennials may be the first generation to actually live a maximum lifespan of 120 years as an average. Quite possible. In fact, it's already doable. It's just a matter of policy. A lot of things that we talk about is a matter of policy. Even this stuff about meat, lab meat for lab rats. Instead of getting synthahol, we're getting synthameat. And I already know the reaction is going to be no, because once you start culturing cells, taking beef cells from a cow or from a lamb or any other kind of animal, or even animal, fish, whatever, that it can be grown in a lab and mass produced and then sold. And there's ethical questions that haven't been asked because they're not asking. Just like with the FDA, they're going to put this stuff out and they won't even ask. It's just going to be out there. And burger places like McDonald's and Burger King, hell, they may already be using this stuff. We don't know. Your dollar hamburgers may already have this meat in there already. And we don't know. Because we will literally be the lab rats for the future. And that's what's happening now. Artificial, and we're already training, the AIs by talking into our Alexa and our Google. And we don't have a clue. We don't have a clue about what's going on. Like I said, this technology, this fourth industrial revolution is going to roll on unimpeded. And there's very few things that will stop it. And the things that will stop it will probably end life on Earth as we know it. But tighten your belts and hold on to your hats, folks, because Kansas is going bye-bye. By 2020, Kansas will have gone bye-bye. By 2025, we may not recognize our hometowns, our cities, and the technology that we use. And that's from a guy that remembers the old rotary phone back when I was a kid, and black and white TVs, to see where we are now and the cusp of the next great nexus is fascinating. It's fascinating. It's frightening, but also fascinating. Anyway, I've talked long enough. This is my take 2. I've actually done this twice. But this is a fascinating story. I might actually do another one because I'm actually interested in this. And I've seen this before, but now it looks like it's going to be real. I mean, really real, like in the supermarkets next year sometime. Well, anyway, we'll jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one.